Afternoon YouTube. So video is going to be on this, which is my latest finished project. It is a large Alice that I recently acquired on eBay here in the UK, and it was kind of a bit odd because it's not your bog standard large Alice. This one had had some work done on it. So how the gentleman that was selling it had acquired it was just a swap with an American on a course that he was attending in the US. So the American owner had had this pocket sewn on. He'd also had the lid pocket modded with a bigger zip instead of the Velcro for the Alice, and then he'd had a pad sewn onto the back of the frame that comes off with Velcro. So they're all popular modifications done for the Rangers, the SF and the Airborne guys. So yeah, and he just said he traded it, and then he'd used it and it had been hanging up in his garage doing a knot, so he was having a clear out, put it on eBay at a very reasonable price, I thought, for what had been done to it, and nobody had gone near it. So it had been relisted. I stumbled across it with about an hour left on it and just messaged him thinking, oh, he won't get back to me, and he got back to me. And I said, this has had work done to it, hasn't it? And he said, yeah. So he told me what had been done. So this pocket, the zip and the pad on the back. And I was like, oh, okay. So I bid on it and won it. Happy days. It's complete with the frame and the shoulder straps. So yeah. And then I just went to town on it. So as you can see, there are several pouches that have been sewn onto it. They are actually darker than they look. They seem to come out a lot lighter in the video, but they are more kind of this top colour. Yeah, so what we've got is bog standard large that's been pimped. So if I start from the top and work down, so I've changed the buckles over for 1 inch 25 mils. There's the large zip pocket, which makes life a lot easier for kind of admin tasking. The original liner had gone, that white kind of, the rubberized had just gone, so I ripped it out, replaced it with mesh. So that's that. And then this pocket on here is off a Carrymore that I've sewn on here. This is on another project that I just didn't use, so I just cannibalised it for some of the parts on here, which is a lot better. So this gives me a top flap and then an underneath flap. 50mm elastic that will take either a British Chamouly parachute flare or what you call in the States a pop flare. Take a 6 inches Rayleigh and a combat tee, so that can live there. Scrim net is attached with elastic onto the top of the frame. There is also a carrying handle that you can just hang it on the back of the vehicle. I put shrink wrapped tubing onto the paracord pullers. Yeah, and then the other mod that had been done to it by the previous owner was this inside storm collar had been sewn in, so that's always useful. I added a haul strap to just pull it up, and then I added a few extra loops around the lid to just tidy up the strapping when you pull it. I added 4 loops in the corners for attaching carabiners, so whatever you want to put, loop lines, gloves, that kind of stuff, just hang off the back. And then on the inside of it I did some more. So first thing you'll see is a white plate carrier water bottle. So I acquired that from a mate who told me about them, and I thought, oh, they're good. So I got that. It's a 1.5 litre plastic bladder. They can be frozen. That one has been frozen and tested, and it works. Now then, I've sewn a mesh pocket inside the radio pocket on the Alice because the Alice pocket is massive. It just disappears. So that thing would have been somewhere down the bottom. So by doing that, I've been able to reduce the hose by about 8 inches, so it's not dragging on the floor, and it just makes it easier and quicker to get the water out when you're tabbing or moving with a Bergen on your back. Got a 60 litre dry bag in there which fits nicely, and that's my roll mat which is rolled round. And then what I've done here is I've put in mesh admin pockets on the top behind these middle 3 pockets. So there's one behind there, there's one behind here, and there's one behind here. Yeah, so that's that done. Okay, all good. That's that. Right then, moving round to the sides. Medium pocket is salvaged from, this small pocket is salvaged from a medium Alice. So I've just changed the clips out to a smaller 19mm. Yeah, this is a clone copy of, I believe, a Spiritus Systems GP. I like the fact that it's small and compact and fits into this gap here. I've done some measuring. So yeah, so I've got a pocket here, and then I've got a pocket there which has got a loop sewn in and Velcro. So I've just got a small pouch lanyarded in so I don't lose it. All good there. Admin GP pouch on the rear has still got the American ammos in it. The rivets, the pops have bust on that one. That one's still got them, and that one is broken, so I'm just using them for small admin. And a homemade admin pouch that's made from the bottom skirts of a 9x9. Fold it in half, sew a zip in it, put a lanyard in it. 2 lanyard points sewn in to the actual Bergen, so you don't lose kit. There is one in here somewhere, he says. Bear with me. There it is. Yeah, and then I've got the original zip there, which is a YKK, so that's all good. Another one of those Spiritus kind of, I think they're Spiritus Systems clone pockets, and then the same again. Yeah, so that's the top. So that gives you 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pockets on the top. Yeah, moving down to the bottom level, got these larger GP pockets, again 2, so one on the outside and then the back one. These are massive. These will take a US 2-quart canteen. They will take 2 single 1 litre water bottles. They will also take the 200 round box of 5.56 for an FN Minimi. Yeah, they're that large. So if I open it up, there you go, 2 1 litre water bottles. There's a metal mug in there with that one. There you go. Yeah, that's my water purification system. That's just screwed into a boxing bottle, and that's off the water to go bottle. Yeah, and then this square bottle is a very good copy of the Posh. Bear with me whilst I pause. Right, there we go. So this white bottle is a copy kind of this. So these are the ones the Australians get. These are expensive, and I bought 4 of these from a well-known YouTube, a well-known vendor on the internet for the price of one of these. Okay, moving around, elastic all through the back, through this one, and this one. I've redone the lid straps, so there's a D-ring at the bottom. I've sewn it there just to make a loop for this. Yeah, on the outside I've changed all the buckles over, as you can see. And then if I drop that away, you can see these 3 different coloured pockets. So that will take 3 chem lights, large cutlery, large lock knife. I have sewn in a pocket that can either take a lighter or a mixed assortment of batteries. I put a puller on the collar of there. Yeah. And then there is a lanyard attachment there, because everything should be attached to your kit so you don't lose it. And then the middle pocket, another 50mm loop for a combat tee or a 6-inch. This middle pouch is my first aid. I've always done that with Bergens. And then I've kind of sewed an exterior pocket on the outside, like a kangaroo kind of affair. So as you can see, 6-inch, 6-inch, there's room for 2 and a combat tee, or you can have 3 combat tees in there. So I'll just pull those out. Another lanyard loop, loads of room there. And then there's the original pocket at the back with my personal first aid kit in it. And then this side pocket is a copy of that one. Yeah, and then there's just a lighter on a lanyard like that. And then again 3 more chem lights in there so I don't lose anything. This is my cooking kit. And then moving around to this other GP pouch, you can see it's got a 2-quart US soft canteen in it. So yeah, if I go pocket wise, that now gives me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 on the outside, and then 4, 5 more on the inside. So yeah, I kind of went tactical Taylor Malice on it for nowhere near as much as one of those sets you back, or a Crossfire, or some Plat Attack kit, or anything like that. So yeah, end of the day, I get a Bergen that I know has been made to my specs, hasn't broken the bank. So yeah, all in all, very happy with it. And it's just an old piece of kit that is still kind of relevant, because the Americans, like the Alice, that most of their Bergens or rucksacks are kind of loosely based on that kind of style. So yeah, other than that, you know, hopefully you get some ideas from this. And then that is enough of me waffling. Oh yeah, wait a minute, nearly forgot. Let me spin it round. Right, shoulder straps. Right, so these I rebuilt. They had the original metal fittings on. I got rid of those. I've retidied them up, so that's sewn on in 3 places. D-ring at the bottom. This quick release fitment, like this one here, the quick release job, that was broken, so I just removed it. I'll put lanyard on the bottom. So the British Army in the 60s and 70s used these fittings as well. So these are on the GS and the SAS Bergen. So these I know work, because I've actually had these sewn onto my PLCE. I put a sternum strap on it. The elastic there will take a Combat T or whatever, also take a handset for a radio. I've sewn that over that because there's a fag burn right there. God knows how he managed that. Yeah. Comes with the original waist band, so that's pretty good. This is this Bergen pad thing that I was going on about. You can Velcro this off to clean it. So yeah, there's that. There's these shock cord pullers I've just added. So that one's got me loop line, yeah, for river crossings, etc. on it. And then this pouch here, I bought this off Temu, right? You know, don't knock it. That was £5, and will take various items, yeah, including a Dutch poncho, so an American woodland will fit in there. The US Marine Corps shelter sheet, I think, fits in there. Don't quote me on that. There's also tent pegs and bungees in there, so that all fits nicely in that. And then that sits nicely in that bottom pocket. Doesn't interfere with your back at all when you're tabbing. You've still got the air circulation around the back, right? And then you can see from that, there's the hose for the internal plate bladder thing, and it's not touching the floor. All right, so if you can use a sewing machine or sew by hand to a decent level, this is what you can do with a Bergen. So if I go around the sides, kind of get a better view of it, but yeah. So other than that, that's enough of me. You know, leave your thoughts. I don't think I've missed anything out of it. But the funny thing is, it is now all in with all the pockets, it's an 85 litre ruck, give or take. So it's a lot less than the British Army PL, which is 120. So yeah, and other than that, I'm just putting it there for you lot to think about. So other than that, me out.